Hi, Marianne Croce here from Small Biz Vantage and the creator of 3 Day Weekend System. And I'm glad to be here each and every week. I do these lives, Auto Shop Success, in 15 minutes for a couple of reasons. The first reason is for auto shop owners, managers, leaders to really take a look outside the four walls of the shop, to really look at it from a different perspective, a different vantage, if you will. Your customers, your suppliers, your vendors really look at your shop differently because that really gives you a competitive edge because most people don't do that. The second reason is for you to take one action item each and every week. I know you're busy, you've got a lot going on in your day. That's why I keep these lives very quick, short, within 15 minutes, but really take one action item. What it does is it causes a ripple effect and you start becoming an example in the business. So it really can make a powerful impact in the business in a positive way. So, a question I often get asked is, well, Marianne, who do you work with? And I work with single location auto shop owners and their leadership team. These are the people that come to me and they say, I'm at a point in my business where I've had some success, but now I feel like I want the business to stop consuming me. I want to have a life. You know that feeling, you feel like you're going 24/7. They want that to stop, but they don't want to sacrifice their business in any way, shape, or form, or sacrifice their team. So that's where I come in and help with 3 Day Weekend System. So this week, I want to get started. If you find this valuable, please share it with another auto shop owner or leader that you think it would help. The topic for this week is team performance. I actually was at an event in Denver, Colorado, for ASA Colorado. Shout out to them. They were so warm and welcoming, and they had me speak two different sessions I did. And I received some questions and some feedback on performance. That was one of the topics that I covered. So I wanted to share a little bit of that with you because I think this is valuable. People said it really shifted the way they thought about performance in their shop. So when you think about when you're in the shop and you're looking around, you'll notice a variety of performance levels among your team. And there's, poor performers who really can drag a team down to peak performers who seem to elevate everyone around them. And every shop has a mix. So the challenge here is knowing how to manage the performance at these different levels while and you're developing your team, right? So that's really the challenge. The first one, I want to just dive deep here right in and discuss this, break this down and unpack this. Poor performers. These are team members that consistently miss the expectations. You think you're being clear about it, but they're missing them. And they can actually cause more harm than good. What happens is, and a lot of times we don't see this as an owner or leader because we're so caught up in the day to day, they actually lower morale in a shop, frustrate others, and often drain your energy. An example of this would be think of a tech who misses deadlines or consistently makes mistakes. Now, I'm not talking about someone who's new and makes a mistake and learns from the mistake and improves. I'm talking about someone who's making the same mistakes over and over again. The time you spend or have someone on your team spend fixing those errors, you really could be using that time. It could be better spent growing your shop, right? Or even if you're having another team member do it, they could actually be producing. So that's the frustrating part of it. Now, what are the action steps? Because we can whine, complain, and blame, right? But we want to think of our shop differently. What are the action steps? What can you actually do? So here's the thing. You provide clarity on the expectations. You have one-on-one conversation, and you offer training or coaching to see where that person is at. If they don't improve, the improvement is on them. They have to own it because anybody is capable with the training and the resources that you can give them. But what is on them is, are they ready to do this? They may not be. Are they willing to do this? They may not be willing to do it. That, as an owner, as a leader in the shop, you can't own that part of that. That is on them. That is their responsibility. They are accountable for that. So if it doesn't improve, it's time to part ways. No matter how much you think of them, care of them, it's time to part ways, because this is also for their benefit. Because after a while, they're going to feel defeated. And it's also for the health of your team, because you don't want to lose good performing people because you have a poor performing person taking the whole shop down. So very, very important to keep that in mind. And we've all heard different versions of this, and I've experienced it myself as a shop owner for 25 years. There were times that we had a toxic team member, because when you keep them too long, that's what actually happens, and it can hurt the entire team. So, right, we live and we learn. The second one is average performers. These are your steady, reliable team members. They meet expectations, but rarely go above and beyond. So an example of this would be, say, a service advisor, that person that you have doing that role, they meet their monthly sales goals, but they don't mention the tech recommendations on other work that the tech found, or they're not really thinking about how to improve the customer experience. So in this situation, the action that you would take, what it would be was help them step out of their comfort zone and have really clear performance targets. Let them know that the customer experience is going to affect reviews. It's going to affect a lot of different things. So explain how presenting text recommendations really increases trust and loyalty. We all know that it's very, very frustrating for a customer to come into a shop, get a repair done. There was other work that was needed, other work that they found. It was never mentioned to the customer. And then they break down, within the next couple of weeks. And they're upset because they weren't told about that and their vehicle was just there. So when you let them know about those, you put the decision in the customer's hands, in their lap, so to speak, and now they have to make that decision. And if, say, they did get stuck or whatever a couple of weeks later, the first thing they would say is, oh, that shop, they told me about it and I decided not to do it. I guess I better call them and have it done. It actually built trust and loyalty. So it's really important to remember that. So in this situation, what you do is you encourage growth with recognition for small wins and the training opportunities. You want to give them training opportunities to improve their skills. So that would be for the average performer. The next one is a high performer. So your high performers, these, when I talk to shop owners at events or clients or when we're on a call, these are the performers, the type of people that all shops want. But we have to keep a few things in mind. So your high performers are the driven, result-oriented type people, and they consistently exceed goals, and they often become your shop's backbone. That's a biggie. That often happens. So an example of this would be a tech that you actually consider a specialist, like your diagnostic specialist or, whatever type of shop you have, they're a specialist. And they really can take on the most complex jobs. They work efficiently, and they can even explain something to a customer, the repair or what's needed, in very easy language. They don't throw a lot of industry jargon at them. They really can explain it well. So for these types, you would say, what do I have to do? They're doing a great job. Well, there is something to keep in mind. Recognize their contributions, but give them opportunities to grow. Like, for example, leadership roles or mentorship programs. Put them in a role like maybe a foreman role, or have them be a mentor for newer people coming in, newer technicians coming in. You also want to set boundaries for them to prevent burnout and ensure that they feel supported. Because a lot of times these are the type of people that will come in and they'll be like, no, I want to come in. I want to work. Can I come in earlier? Can I stay a little later? They want the time. They're looking to prove themselves. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that these people, you're helping them prevent burnout, because it's very easy for this type to experience that. And their family will appreciate it too, that you're supporting them. Now, lastly, peak performers. Now, peak performers, these are rare. They really inspire the team and they really elevate your shop. So what happens here is they actually innovate. They come up with really good ideas. They collaborate with the team. They include the team, and they deliver consistent results. So an example here would be a shop manager who supports the team, optimizes processes. They see them and they want to improve them, and they can handle difficult customer situations with ease. They don't even go to the owner. They're like, no, I have this. There's no way that we have to involve the owner. We can take care of it. So the idea is with these people, again, a lot of owners would say to me, what do I have to do? There's really nothing there. They're great. But what you want to make sure of is you're empowering them with authority, that they're allowed to make decisions, and you involve them with strategic decisions when it comes to the business, because that's what they want. They want to be involved. That's what they're looking for. Pair that type of person with average performers to help them lift up the entire team performance. So, a challenge that I want you to be mindful of, because a lot of shop owners during the class had said that this was something that they saw in their business. There's a challenge with high and peak performers. You can burn them out. They can burn themselves out if they carry too much of the load. And they can very unintentionally create tension if others feel overshadowed, causing them to leave. So you may have people who are average performers and they're sitting there thinking, wow, I can't ever reach this. They're just amazed, right? So they're intimidated, and those people end up leaving. So we don't want to do that. The secret to a thriving shop isn't just hiring peak performers. It's actually building a culture where every team member can grow. With the right leadership, you can move average performers toward high performance and high performers towards peak performance. So I know I've given you a lot, but here's the next step. On a regular basis, ask yourself these three things. Am I providing clarity and coaching to underperformers? Are my average performers being challenged to grow? And do my high and peak performers feel valued and supported? You want to ask yourself that on a regular basis. What this does is this will help you so that you don't miss anything that's coming up. Have one-on-ones with your team and make sure that you know what each person's needs are. High performing teams do not just happen. Sometimes people think that once you have those people in your or on your team in your business, they think that it's just going to go that way. Well, the truth is they aren't. The truth is that high performing teams are actually built. And the key to high performance is really team. It's balance. To have that high performing team, it's balance. So if you've been on the live before, you know that every week I have a 1 week rule, and it's about taking action now, because you can listen to me, you can listen to others, but we want you to have results from it. So when it comes to taking action this week, assess where your team's performance is at. Think about each individual, and then take the next steps to support them and create the best environment for them to thrive. So, what is the one thing that you will do this week to get started on doing that? And if anybody, wants to put it in the comments, that's great while we're live. If you end up watching the replay, put something in the comments, because I would absolutely love to comment and respond. And even if you have any questions, I appreciate it. And also, I want to leave you with a pro thinking tip. Not everyone will be a peak performer, right? It's not going to happen. And that's okay, because your job as a leader, as an owner, whatever your role is in the shop, is to coach, support, and create the environment where every team member could grow to their best performance. And sometimes that even means changing a role in the company, because as they grow into that, they find that their skill set, they're finding skill sets that they didn't realize that they had, didn't realize that they really liked and enjoyed, and they may even end up in a different role in your shop. So that's it for this week's Auto Shop Success in 15 minutes. I'm glad that you're here, and have an amazing day. Thanks for being here. And thanks, John.